Relationships with the community is great because in general, policing is nothing but customer service. We're out here doing the same thing as any business is too. We're out here trying to build those relations, and cooperation is key. The more people we can have cooperate with us to help solve some of these crimes, the better off it'll be, and hopefully we can make Columbia a safer place in that way, just getting as much cooperation from the community as possible. So. Oh yeah, it's definitely changed. It's changed since the Ferguson incident, definitely. I mean, everybody thinks that the cops are out to get them, but in reality, we're not out to. If you're not doing something wrong, we're definitely not out to get you. Now, yeah, if you're selling narcotics, or if you're out committing robberies, if you're out committing burglaries, then of course, yes, we are going to try to stop or deter that as much as possible. Because it doesn't just come down to about that person, it's about the community, because anything that somebody does illegally affects the community. And so in order to keep the community safe, then that's what we're out here doing our job for, just to try to limit and deter whatever we can. So when I first started in policing, in 2009, it was, it seemed like we got more help from the community back then, but now it's like, everybody gets this, they got this bad taste, or like for law enforcement, that, what they hear, not only in the media, but what they hear from, social media sites, just random people talking too, that they think that the police are bad, and that no matter what, we're not going to be able to do anything, or something's going to come back on them somehow, and so then they just don't want to talk to us. They'll just shut down, and nobody wants to say anything, or they think that we're going to try to do something to them. I mean, you got a lot of these people that you walk up to a car and and they just have their hands up, and I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, I appreciate that I can see your hands, but at the same time, it's like you can put your hands down. Then you have a lot of people saying, well, I don't want to be shot. Okay, I don't have a reason to even do that. Sure, that happens because there are definitely bad apples in policing as well, but for the majority, I hope personally that I never have to shoot anyone ever. Like, that would probably be like the, I don't even know, I honestly don't even know how, like, I just never want to have to do that. Like, that's nothing I ever want to have to do, because that like takes a a lifetime effect on you as well. Something you have to live with. Know that you took another person's life. And talking to officers, and watching interviews with officers that have been in situations like that, I mean, it's something that haunts them. That's, even though they know that it was justified, and that they saved potentially more people's lives by doing that. It's a hard something you have to live with. So there was actually an incident here recently where an officer was physically and violently assaulted because she was too afraid to pull her handgun. She was too scared to do it because she didn't know how that would be portrayed. She took she was assaulted pretty severely just because of that, because officers are afraid to act and to do the right thing, or do what they believe that's right, because they're afraid of like what the outcome is going to be due to all the recent negative police activity, or the negative police portrayance, I guess, like how people look at us.
Will you go help him?
The police aren't here to hurt you. We're here to help you. I personally don't feel like, and that's far as like, I can't really speak a lot for Columbia because of the fact that I wasn't here in 2009. But from back in Moberly, I know that right before I left there, people weren't as willing to cooperate with us as they used to be. But a lot of the time, people think too, if we can't figure out who it was, or what, that there's nothing we're going to do about it. They think, oh, well, you're not going to do anything about it anyway. Or if they have like that one, negative run-in with the police, they just think that, now all cops are bad no matter what, that they're going to get in trouble for something. But it's, their actions dictate how it's going to go a lot of the times, I don't know if it's that. I think a lot of it really is just that they see that, no matter what, kind of depending on what it is. I mean, because there's always those people too that like that you hear stories about, and that you see, like if they do cooperate, then people go after them or something like that. A lot of that's, some of that's, happening a little more and stuff, and so they're just afraid for that, and also they're just like, not my problem, so they just don't want to say anything. And a lot of people, you know, they just dislike the police in general just because of, you know, the incidents that have happened. And they blame us for, you know, everything that's happened, like all like the, you know, shootings and everything like that. But you know, the police shootings versus like, you know, people shooting people is, you know, just the numbers of us shooting people versus, you know, other people shooting other people. Then it's just crazy. I mean, people shoot people more than we ever have to, and so they just look at the numbers of us shooting people and they think, you know, that's so bad. But you know, you don't see the outcries whenever they shoot each other. You know, you don't see them, you know, rioting and stuff like that whenever they, you know, another person shoots another person. You know, it's always if like the police shoot someone. You know, there could be 15 other shootings where they shot each other. You know, where one person shot another person, regardless of race at all, and you don't see anything. But the minute like a police officer shoots someone, I mean, it's the end of the world. You know, but they don't care about the facts. They don't want to know anything. All they want to know is what the hearsay is. They only want to hear that. You know, they're like, oh, well, this is what they did, because they heard one person say it and they believe that is fact, regardless of regardless even what the body camera shows, regardless of anything. You know, they think, oh, well, that's all. You know, the police made that up. That's tampered with. Yeah, it's definitely our hands are becoming more and more tied as to what we can do and everything. But that still doesn't stop, you know, a lot of us for, you know, wanting to be an officer, you know, I mean, because there's still like that need for it. You know, there's a need for good officers out there to, you know, help deter and stop crimes. I believe that all people should be able to live without, you know, fear of someone breaking in their house or, you know, assaulting them or taking something that doesn't, you know, that doesn't belong to them and stuff like that. So I'm, you know, wanting to come out here to make a difference, you know, and that's the nice thing about the variety of calls we get too is, you know, you're always helping in some way.